beloved ones. How are you feeling with your many bodies of light this day? This is your friend Tsen Tsing. So there can be nothing more than you knowing that you are all that is. What can you add to that except more of all that is? If you now can see in your telescope into the galaxies and beyond, you can see, not only do I see my galaxy that I am part of, I see galaxies beyond my galaxy that we are all part of. And not only if the telescope is big enough, reaching out into so-called space, then you see universes beyond universes. How is that possible? And that's all you. So you are ever knowing that even though you don't know who you are, you know who you are. Even if tomorrow you know yourself to be new, you are still you. Thank you for that which never changes. You only expand from my point of view. Do you think there can be an infinite you? Well, of course. Do you need to be considering that every moment? No, because your focus of soul intention is here, in this body, in this life experience. Other lifetimes, other embodiments still exist. And from time to time, you feel like that oversoul takes a peek into those things. That's good. And you are never changing. You are only shifting your point of view. Creating the hologram of life based on what you choose to put your awareness and attention to. So you could say that the matrix is all made up. It is. And people think, oh, because somebody wrote a movie about something, now matrix is nothing good, right? There's a light matrix forever, meaning it is the webbing of all that you are creating and that has been created, and that you get to ride in and through those points of reference in the matrix. Do you know your mathematics enough to know that there are points of connection and points of vortices in form and in light? Maybe you don't know clearly all the definitions of that, but that's a true expression, as Metatron will tell you. So what if then in your own light body, you are not ever without access to everything you could potentially experience? You don't have to say, computer, end program, to shift your potentiality. You just have to say to self, begin new program. Begin new view. Begin new life now. Because where is this all going to go? When your ancestors, your human ancestors, that you have related with based in the genealogies of your DNA and your body, and the ancestors that were here beyond what is recognizable to the human DNA in the moment, all of that still lives in you, and you have potential to go to any one of those points of light in your ancestry, giving gratitude and forgiveness. Those are the two primary things you can offer your ancestors. That would be to say, I honor you and I'm grateful for the gift of your experiences that I learn from, that I heal with, that I become more aligned to my greater self with. And I forgive myself, and I forgive you for the choices that may have clouded my consciousness, my awareness for all of us. So again, you heal. You heal all of ancestry. You specifically go to a point of reference in ancestry and heal that, and you are healed. There's a connection, you see, for all of it. These recent days of honoring that crossing of awarenesses of these dimensions of ancestries and lifetimes and so-called walking among us, people. What a gift that is. It happens all the time. But the gift is that in this cycle, as it is set up in your conscious world and human life on your planet, that there is this thinness in the veils of reference to all of those life experiences. So you get to be more present more of the time as you choose. Not to be afraid that zombies are walking among you, not to be afraid that ghosts are coming to invade your life, but that you get to be loving, grateful, and forgiving of all of that, which is crossing in and through the veil. You do it all the time, and you don't think you're not conscious of that so much. Often in your sleep state, if you're human sleep state, you go out and you journey into these dimensions and crossing veils of awareness and coming back with distorted memory of what the experience was, perhaps. But what if you're in your dream? You're the spook in someone else's dream. What if you're the one who people are burning sage to get rid of? Because you're showing up when they didn't invite you and understand you and know who you are. So what? Because what does that really do for you? If it's done with love, everyone is blessed in it. And if it's done in fear, everyone will be connected to that fear until there's a choice to forgive it and heal it. Everything new. New beginning today, new beginning now. Breath, new beginning thought. What if you are the one that brings a new thought to human life? So, for example, the Master Einstein brought some new thoughts forward for humanity to explore. He wasn't the only one to ever had that, but he was the only one who felt it powerfully enough and in a context that he could share it. Whether it was understood, accepted, he knew that it was important. So in that sense, it was a new thought because people suddenly became aware of a possibility. But it was already existing. He just attuned to it and had an aha moment when he visited his extraterrestrial friends during his exploring, you might call it meditative states. And he said, oh, energy, matter. I now understand how that frequency works. What if? He wasn't able to prove it, right? But he proved it. Any more than you can prove a geometric formula, except by agreement. The proving is in the awakening of a possibility. So, new beginnings, new thoughts. Do you remember having one of those mind-blowing moments of a new thought or new idea suddenly becoming clear to you? Each of you has had at least one of those in your lifetime, right? Like, wow, I never thought of it like that before. What? What if that's really true? Oh my gosh. So those are fun and a little scary maybe, because that would mean that if that's true, what do I do with all the rest of the things that I thought that don't match up to that? Good, you bless them, you integrate them, you become expanded so that they don't become wrong. You see, that's what people sometimes don't understand about nowadays in your current cycles about science. Science isn't an exactness, it's an exploration. And it ever shifts and it ever expands because the intent is to discover something new and to, for a moment, find what makes a discovery practical, real, and opens up potential for other discoveries. So it's not for you whether your ideas are new scientifically, or whether they're new spiritually, or whether they're new ideologically. It doesn't matter how you want to measure, but know that what if those aha moments you have had become every moment of your life? Can you manage that? Can you manage your life if everything is constant sort of um, big bang happening? You know that whole new universe has reshaped itself based on your acceptance of a possibility of something brand new to you. On some level of your being, that could be and is exciting and real, because that's the nature of the universe, is constantly reinventing its self-expression. Functioning in your 3D world, in your human physical world, that isn't a practical way unless you want to live in an institution getting medicated for your craziness. It's not practical way to be. Every moment is somehow chaotic and exploding everything around you. And now you're trying to tell everyone else how crazy the world is because of all that's happening. So some people are very sensitive to that. We're not recommending you let your craziness go that deep in this lifetime. We're recommending that you stay practiced in the fluidity of it rather than in the uncomfortably, often painful explosion of it. It doesn't have to be that way. Some of you know how to use what is called in your kitchen a pressure cooker, right? And the good news is you use that pressure in a positive way, and you use it in a smart way where you begin to release the pressure slowly so that everything you've just cooked doesn't become an explosion on your ceiling and it doesn't even go in your mouth, right? So you have ways spiritually to use the pressure of your ongoing process, if you could call it this, of your life recreations, and then to let the steam of that energetic movement ease you into enjoying what has just been cooked up in you. I take the metaphor too far. I think it's an interesting one. You can integrate. That's what happens when you put the foods like that in a pressure cooker. The flavors integrate. They are distinct, and yet they're somehow blended in a new way because the pressure has cooked them into a oneness, into a new form than what it started out as. Your thoughts, ideas, internal aha moments can be explosive, or they can be gently explosions of more at easement into the creation and what you're going to be creating with it, as it. New beginning. Are we laying some interesting foundation for the conversations that will occur this day? More to come, more to be expressed, more to be welcomed. So you all are very present. Are you thinking? I'm just trying to take it in and absorb it. I'm trying to feel. Don't put it in that suppression place of your brain. Put it in a more open pot and your stovetop. Put it on the place where it's easily accessible if it's not something you fully understand or know what to do with yet. And as you're integrating, bit by bit what I am speaking, what we are sharing. Keep breathing that into your existence and your experience with it. I hope you will find yourself smiling about it. We'll see you when we see you, as you always. Namaste.